Hey guys, mtgnoob here, and I'm bringing you a standard green-white humans deck recap. The first thing I must say about this deck is it was way more skill intensive than I thought it would be. After 4 matches with it, I really feel like you have to practice this deck more than you would imagine. There's so many times where I played this card incorrectly, whereas if I practiced, I would know like, okay, it's fine to overextend into this, or it's not. Um, and there were so many times where I wanted a Rancor because my guys were just big and had no evasion. This was the only creature that had evasion or a Johnny making something jump. So that being said, if you're going to pick up this list, you definitely want to be running it for a while. Usually I can pick up a deck and I can kind of hang in there and hold my own, but I felt very, very overwhelmed playing this deck. Alright, so let's go over. The mana base seemed fine. I never really got screwed over too often. I kept a couple greedy hands if you watched any of the videos. Originally, I had said maybe I want 2 townships. I still kind of feel like that. I didn't draw it, and I think the drawback of having it in your opening hand is probably worth it. I would think I would cut a forest over it. So that's my first cut, if any. Faith Shield I never actually played with, but I'm sure is a solid card. I kind of felt like the numbers were off with certain things. Like I felt Mayor was very underwhelming, although I didn't really play it or play it well. And like when I did have it, it was against like Red and Strum Kirknobles when it's never good. The cards that I liked in the deck were essentially the whole deck except for maybe the Mayor and these Dryad Militants. Like I understand how good they are when you have them, but only running 2 didn't seem like enough. It kind of felt like he was trying to hedge his bets against most decks, where sometimes they work, sometimes they didn't. I did like being able to side into the full 4 Dryad Militants against mono red though, so that's something at least. So if I was making any changes to the deck, I'd probably cut a forest for another township. Maybe I'd keep these in the board. And I know the mayors are good and work as like an overrun, but I think I would want more evasion style things. So maybe like we could put a charm or 2 in the main deck. But I don't think you want to mess with the integrity of the deck too much. So that's just a little wiggle room. I'm sure the mayors are better than I'm giving them credit for. So I would possibly change these 3 cards. This is easy for a township, I would think. And maybe, you can leave these, but I don't think you want to hedge your bets too much. But a 2/1 dude is pretty good. One card that I played against, actually, that I thought might fit well in the deck, outside of maybe another Ajani, was Mikaeus of the Lunarch, the white Mikaeus, the one that gives 1/1 counters. I think that would fit really nicely into this deck, as it buffs all your guys. It acts kind of like as another second or third township. I didn't feel like this guy was bad. I kind of liked him. He's very weak, but when you play him correctly, he's very strong. I mean weak in toughness. Alright, let's look at the board. Oblivion Ring's like your only answer to anything. So I could see going up to a full 4. Something that was talked about was Rest in Peace originally. Let me just hold off on that. Swift Justice seems fine for the creature matchups or anything where you want to give something for a strike, gain life. These seem fine as a 4 of. Like I said, you can board them in against red. You can also, board them in against like Lingering Souls and things that have flashback. Elite Inquisitors, I think he was thinking at the SCG tournament that he'd see way more zombies. They're okay. They're not amazing. Also, a quick note on the Knight of Glories. I like that they have Exalted, and the Pro Black is relevant against Olivia Valderon, but they also, if they're running red, they're not that strong. So these cards get less good if Zombies isn't really around. Celestia Charm's always good. Oblivion Ring, I would think you would want a 4th. And then your Rest in Peace. You're sitting here with a card that removes graveyards, which is great, but it doesn't really do that much, especially if they have an answer, so to speak. So like let's look at our other options, which first you're running 4-Dry Militant, which I think makes this card less good. And let's look at Ground Seal. When Ground Seal, I'm going to draw a card. Cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities. So, you know, I mean, Ground Seal may be a little bit better since it at least cantrips. But, you know, take it with a grain of salt. If you feel like Junk is a bad matchup, with which this person obviously felt like it was, then you probably want to be running the Rest in Pieces. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed. I was a little grumpy in the matches. I have a lot of real life stress this week, so I apologize. And, you know, like I said, deck, I thought I was going to have some quick matches. Bang, 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 done. Go enjoy my Sunday. And it turned out that there were some real grind fests. And, you know, I let opponents back into the games by playing poorly, so I apologize for that. I know you want good matches, but, you know, is what it is. I picked up the deck, ran it through some two-mans, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Please check out theMTGnoob.com.